Bethesda's next big Starfield update sounds really exciting, and it's coming in just a few days. First and foremost, before we get into it, I do want to apologise for not talking about this sooner, but we are finally talking about it now, so let's not waste any time and just get straight into it. A few days ago now, Bethesda tweeted saying how on the 17th of January, so in just a couple days, they're putting out their biggest update to Starfield yet in the Steam beta. This huge new update will release to everybody else around 2 weeks after that, and this update will have over 100 fixes, which already gets me excited. Now, according to Bethesda, this next update will contain fixes to many quests. Just a few examples of those are the Eye of the Storm issues, temples not showing up in Into the Unknown, and more. Already, this sounds like a great update, just fixing a ton of the quest blocker bugs and issues in the game, and I also want to say I just love how much Bethesda have been communicating with us recently, letting us know about all of the future updates, tweeting whenever there's an issue that they're trying to resolve, and all of that stuff. Bethesda have always been a very secretive company, and even when it comes to normal stuff like this that they shouldn't be secretive about, they never really bothered to talk about it. And as a huge Bethesda fan, I'm really glad that they seem to be moving away from that bullshit and just actually communicating with us. But anyway, let's move on. And next we have stability improvements. This update will also add improvements to that side of the game, which gets me really excited. Ranging from, additional widescreen support to improved textures, lighting, shadows, which is great. One of the things I'm most excited about from this huge update, like I just said, I really wasn't expecting any graphical improvements to ever come to Starfield, really, at least not from a very long time. And I never really had any issues with the graphical side of Starfield. I don't really care about graphics in my games, that's just me personally. I mean, I still play classic Doom and classic Fallout regularly, so maybe I'm just used to, not looking at amazing graphics, but hey, the fact that they're improving it is great, and it has me really excited. It's always nice to play a really nice looking game, so I'm really excited for this part of the update. Now lastly, they mentioned a ton of other fixes for this game, including sun disk geometry, planet ring shadows, bulldozed objects reappearing when returning to an outpost, ship hatches marked inaccessible. Thankfully I never got that, I didn't even know that that was a bug. And another fix for the asteroids following our ships. Finally, I've been waiting to get rid of my pet asteroid for months now, but this isn't even everything. They just mentioned how the full update notes will be posted on the 17th when the beta goes live, so in just a few days. And of course they did say over 100 fixes and improvements, which is just insanely great. I am just really happy and glad that Bethesda are committed to making Starfield as good as it possibly can be. I look at a studio like Loran Studios and how amazingly they've been treating Baldur's Gate 3. The communication, the updates, the improvements, the fixes, even adding in an entire epilogue for an update. How they've publicly stated their dislike for microtransactions, etc, just how amazing Loran has been. And I honestly think every single video game company basically in the world needs to take a long hard look at that studio, because that is what they should all aspire to be like. So to see Bethesda kind of following the same route of this constant communication, these constant updates, promising updates every few weeks, fixing hundreds of bugs in a single update, even going a step further to improve graphics, shadows, lighting, and giving us widescreen support and whatever else. As a huge Bethesda fan, this is really great to see, and it makes me so happy. And look, if you subscribe to me and you have for a while and you keep up to date with all of my Starfield videos, then you know that I have been quite critical of Starfield recently. Not to just jump on this hate bandwagon that's going on at the moment. You all know I still love the game. It was my second game of the year for 2023. I will proudly admit that, and that's not going to change. But I've also been disappointed at the lack of updates, the lack of fixes and improvements in the updates that we did get, but hey, it finally looks like that's changing, and that's great news. We're finally getting all of these fixes, all of these improvements, even getting new ways to travel, which I'm very excited for, and so on. It does really look like Bethesda are going to stick to their plans of updating Starfield roughly every 6 weeks starting in February, aka when this update will drop publicly. and that they're determined to fix, build upon, and improve Starfield as much as possible like they promised all those months ago. Just as a big Bethesda fan, it's so good to see, and as a big RPG fan, I am in RPG nirvana right now, with Baldur's Gate 3 taking up 99% of my time, and just being excited for future Starfield updates. All of this is just great, and I'm so happy as an RPG gamer right now. It's just really exciting to have Bethesda say, okay, we hear you, we're fixing a lot of the problems, we're adding in features like city maps that you all want, the new ways to travel that you all want. We're doing everything we can to, again, make Starfield as good as it possibly can be. I am really excited for this update and the future of Starfield, but let me know your opinions of all of this stuff in the comments below. Of course, if you did enjoy the video, I kindly ask that you leave it a like before you go. And of course, if you are new around here and you want to stay up to date on all of the latest RPG news, then please do consider subscribing, because this is the place for you. Lastly, as always, a huge, massive thank you to our channel members. The support means the world as always, guys. But with all of that said and done, thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time. Peace.